mighty temple preacher, Reverend Terrence, that is here to be a blessing to us. Extend your right hand to him. Say, Reverend Bell, preach. Don't sugarcoat. Don't cut it short. Just preach. Come on, somebody give him a hand as he comes.
Amen. Can you just take 10 seconds and just reverence God in this place? Just lift your hands if you can. Just lift your hands if you can. And just tell God thank you. Come on, just tell God thank you. Come on, open your mouth and just tell God thank you. Come on, open your mouth. I believe something will break on this morning. Open your mouth. Hallelujah, God. Thank you. Thank you for another day, God. Thank you for worship. God, thank you for who you are. God, thank you for your presence. God, thank you for Jesus. God, thank you for Jesus. God, we thank you for Jesus. God, we thank you for Jesus. God, we thank you for Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. If you love God, come on, put your hands together for Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 It's a blessing, amen. Just to be alive, amen. Amen. I thank Pastor Tyler, amen, and the Mount Zion family for the invitation this morning. Amen. I promise you, I won't hold you long. I just want to encourage your hearts this morning. Amen. Amen. Look at Luke chapter 9. Luke chapter 9. I want to look at 4 verses. 4 verses. This hit my spirit. Amen. Luke chapter 9, starting at verse 18. I'll read from the New Living Translation version so we can make it simple and plain. Is that all right? Amen. Luke chapter 9, starting at verse 18. Reads like this. One day Jesus left the crowds to pray alone. Only his disciples who were with him and asked him, "Who do people say that I am?" Well, they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, others say you are one of the ancient prophets risen from the dead." Yeah. Then he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Yeah. Peter replied, "You are Messiah, sent from God." Watch 21. Jesus warned his disciples not to tell anyone who he was. The Son of Man must suffer many terrible things. He said he will be rejected. Come on. Lord have mercy. By the elders and the leading priests and the teachers of religious law. He will be killed. But on the third day, Lord have mercy, he will be raised from the dead. Amen. I want to title this text this morning, "Who is this man?" Who is this man? Amen. I asked the question when Pastor gave me the call. I was driving back into town, my little hour and a half, 2-hour drive. The Lord simply told me something in my heart and in my mind. He said, "Son, many people get up at 6, 5 o'clock in the morning to get to service, but are really unsure who I really am." Come on. He said, "Some people get this confused with the Easter bunny." He said, "But only thing the Easter bunny can do is lay an egg and hop." He said, "But yet I have so many miracles, people don't even know exactly who I am." The thing that I've discovered in these 4 verses, God showed me 4 different things here. The first thing he showed me is that most people don't go with you all the way, Pastor, and have no idea who you really are. Even Jesus had to ask them, "Well, who do people say that I am?" They gave him all crazy type of answers. But then when he asked Peter, he said, "Well, then who do you say that I am?" Peter had to look past the flesh and see the spirit. And can I tell you, even though it's early in the morning, can anybody just know that the Spirit of God is still here? That we have to get to the point in life to where we look past flesh and start seeing spirit. Yet I discovered in this text that he told them, he said, now, watch this. The Lord told me, he said, people will focus so more on your history instead of your story. And I believe that many of us got up this morning, it ain't the fact that we want to discover history, but we want to shout about the story of who he is. And I believe that when worship got evoked in this place, you only lifted hands because you only know who God really is. that people have told you all year long that Jesus is Lord. Jesus, we didn't heard who he was, but when you got in a rough spot, you discovered who Jesus really was. Didn't nobody have to tell you he was a bridge over troubled water. You've been in trouble, and you know, didn't nobody bring you this far but Jesus. I wish I had somebody in here this morning that can testify that if it had not been for it, I would have lost my everlasting mind. Jesus. So once they discovered Pastor Tyler who he was, watch what he tells them. He says, don't go tell anybody
All right.
who I am. Can I drop this nugget real quick this morning that you have to be careful who you share your real identity with in this season, because some people, I wish I had somebody, so some people can't handle the real you. Lord have mercy. He said you gotta be careful. Don't go tell anybody exactly who that I am. I got confused here because they discovered something that most people have not discovered. They gave him many names, but when Peter discovered it, I believe that something unctioned in his spirit that said, I just realized this is the Son of the living God. Now I want to go tell somebody exactly who I've been walking with all along. But the dangerous thing is if you tell the wrong person, they may try to kill you. And can I just drop a nugget here? Somebody gonna get mad because you came in the morning worship early this morning. But can I tell you, you just got one up on the enemy because the devil wanted you to stay sleeping, not come to church. And he know if you came in the morning to worship, you'll get a head start in praising God. I ain't trying to preach hard this morning, but when I woke up this morning, my mind was already on Jesus. And I believe I got 3 saints in the house that can testify that Jesus still lives. He still lives. He discovered who he was. He had to keep a secret. But I love what Jesus did in around the 3rd verse of this text. He ended up telling them what's about to come to pass. What kind of man is this? You have enough power to speak and things have to come into fruition. Watch what he does. He says, oh Lord have mercy. Around the 22nd verse, he said, the Son of Man must suffer many things. What makes you so good? That you are too good to even suffer. And Jesus had to suffer because you didn't want to be obedient. What makes you so good that when people say your name in the wrong manner, you want to ready to pop off or clap back? What makes you so good that folks scandalize your name, ran down your history? I wish I had a few people. And yet you stop coming to church because somebody don't like you. But yet this man had folk that should have been talking about him, loving on him. And he had the nerve and I still gotta suffer. Sometimes I wish Lord deliver me from people that don't know how to suffer. And deliver me from people that don't know how to go through. And I wish I had somebody in here. He said, I'm going to suffer many things. Then he goes on. So they ain't going to hold you long. Then he goes on and he says, not only will I just suffer many things, but I'll be rejected. Lord have mercy. So I got to suffer. Then I'm going to be rejected. How is it that, Pastor Tyler, you can stand and preach the gospel all year long and folks still talk about who you are? How is it that we come to church and serve a living God and people still rejected who he is? I can't understand it. But watch the people that rejected him. It wasn't any strangers. Lord have mercy. It's the same folk that come to church and sit in the pew and shout amen. But when push comes to shove, we can't even call him that, but we reject exactly who he is. I remember the first time I got saved, Pastor, and couldn't nobody beat me going to church, but as soon as hell hit my house, I forgot the direction on how to get there. I sat there in the car and just waddled in my mess too long. And then too many of us had got to a place in life to where we didn't ever want to suffer, but then we start rejecting them. If you skip down a few verses, he tells them, he says, you're going to have ashamed of me. Lord have mercy. And one thing I realized from the call is that this day and time, God is looking for some real saints. Folk that ain't ashamed to get up early in the morning. I remember grandma used to get on side the bed about 4 a.m. and start calling on Jesus. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. But when she had a bad dream, she started calling on Jesus. And she said, you got to get up and go do in the morning and start calling on his name. Is there anybody else in here got up this morning just to call on the name of Jesus? I'll be rejected. Oh, my religious folk.
Oh, man.
Then he jumps down, bothered me in the text, disturbed my mind, and aggravated my spirit because he said, then I'll be killed. But I love it because but changed the whole situation. He said, then I'll be killed, but on the third day. And I believe the wrong people celebrated too long.
Come on now.
Because they shouted about the kill, but they ignored the raise. They shouted about the kill part,
Shouted too soon, man.
but they missed the 3-day mark. The Lord told me, he said, son, this is what people miss. Is that in 2019, when they start going through, the enemy gonna start rejoicing of the loss. But the people gotta know that in 3 days it's coming back. Lord have mercy, help me here. And I got really excited as I touched Mount Zion Road, Sister Cole, simply because I didn't focus so much on the fact that he got killed. But I rejoiced on the fact that 3 days he came back. Lord have mercy. And I believe, Deacon Kelly, that many of us is here, not just because we don't serve a sleeping Savior, but I can testify that we do serve a risen Savior. And I told Pastor, I said, you know what, one thing, he said, Doc, I don't know who all gonna come. And my wife told me, she said, well, baby, this is what I realized is that the true saints will show up. Oh, Lord have mercy. He said, because even when it's dark outside, I heard Pastor Stewart talk about it being dark. But I realized that's the best time to glorify God. Is when it's dark outside. Even Paul and Silas will tell you something happened at midnight. The darkest time of the hour, but the earliest of another day. And I'm believing that not only are we here this morning, but we came to celebrate a risen Savior. But look at the text. He said, they will kill me. But on the third day, Lord have mercy, I will raise from the dead. This is some kind of power. It's when you can take something that has dead, that don't have a smell, that is sleeping. Lord have mercy. That medication can't wake up. This here takes true power. And I discovered something, Pastor Tyler, in the text. I said, Lord, what is the message you try to give to me this morning? He said, son, people have rejoiced over my name, but they forgot about my power. Come here for a second. He said they shout about who I am, but they forgot about my miracles. He said, and I want them to understand that what they saw me do last year was a glimpse of what I'm about to do in this season. Lord have mercy. And that right there just get me all excited because I realize that I don't serve a sleeping Savior, but I do serve a risen Savior. And I almost got too happy right there simply because who is this man? I know that grandmama had told me a long time that he's a doctor in a sick room, but that still didn't help me. I've been trying to figure out, Sister Cole, who is this man? This is the same man that a few verses ago tell you, don't go share my identity. Then he has the nerve to tell me that I can't share it with just everybody. Then he has the nerve to tell me that the people that's connected to him really wants to kill him because they're jealous of what's about to happen. Then he has the nerve to tell them, don't get sad, don't cry. It's that I'm going to take a good 3-day nap. But when I get back up, I'm bringing everything with me. Lord have mercy. Y'all don't know when to get excited. And that just lets me know that when he got up, not only did he get up with your stuff, but he got up with some of my stuff. Who is this man? This is Jesus. I wish I had somebody to get excited about who this man is. Who is this man? Some people call it a bridge over troubled water, but who is this man? Some will call him a lily in the valley. Maybe that's not who you call him, but who is this man? He morning star. He's the first and the last. He is the risen Savior. He is the head and not the tail. He is above and not beneath. I wish I had a church in here. Who is this man? He is Alpha and Omega. He is the beginning and the end. Who is this man? He'll pay your rent when you can't pay it. He'll love you when you can't love yourself. Who is this man? He is the lawyer. He is a doctor. He's a vindicator. I wish, who is this man? He's a redeemer. He's a battle axe in a time of war. Who is this man? I love that name. But when I call on the name, he's the only name that demons start to flee. Who is this man? He's the only man that can go out of the grave and the grave can't hold him. Who is this man? He's the only man that can talk to death and it must obey his command. Who is this man? He's the only man that 3 days later got up with power in his hand. Do you love the man? If you love that man, you ought to give him glory. If you love that man, you ought to give him glory. If you love that man, shout yes in this place. Shout yes in this place. Who is it? Who is this man? Who is this man? This is some kind of man. There's a song came on a long time ago. What a man, what a mighty good man. Who is this man? This is the only man that I know that can give somebody everything that they lost. Who is this man? He's the same man that told Job, don't get mad, because I'm going to give you double for your trouble. Who is this man? He's the only man that can spit in clay and mix it up together and rub it on the blind man's eyes. Who is this man? He's the only man that can tell hell where it came from. Who is this man? He's the only man that can look the devil in the face and give him a command to obey him. Who is this man? He's the only man that at his name demons got to flee, heads got to bow, things got to come under subjection. Who is this man? He's the only man that when Mount Zion calls him, he comes running and show up. Who is this man? Anybody love him? Anybody love him? Anybody love him? Anybody love him? Is there anybody love him? Do anybody love him? If you love that name, I dare you take 3 seconds and just call on that name. Somebody call him Jesus. Somebody call him Jesus. Somebody call him Jesus. There is no other name. That's the name above every name. That's the only name that matters. That's the only name that stands. That's the only name that works. That's the only name that draws. That's the only name that heals. That's the only name that makes ways. That's the only name that calls things. That's the only name that shows up. That's the only name that got power. Anybody know it got power? Anybody know it got power? Some kind of man. I remember going to sunrise service as a little boy, and every time the preacher would call his name, folks would lose their everlasting mind. And I said, Lord, this is the only man that you ain't got to have good credit for him to access things that's been denied. That's some kind of man. Yeah. Y'all, I've seen Jesus do some crazy things in my short time of living. And he's the only man that can take something that can't move and make it move. What kind of man is this?
Good word, man.
How many of us can ask ourselves, what kind of man is this?
Good word, man. Yes, sir.
People are trying to figure out what kind of man are you serving. Examine yourself. Examine yourself.
Yes, sir.
But listen, don't let your fire run out.
Come on.
Because if you know what kind of man it is, then we ought to be doing a whole lot better.
Come on.
We ought to be doing a whole lot better. This is some type of man When you can predict your death,
Mm-hmm.
but then put an expiration date on it.
Uh-oh.
Got a man in this. Got a man
What
in
kind
this.
of man?
Yeah.
So he told him, he said, look, I'm going to go, I'm going to die. But I'm just going to sleep a little while.
Hmm.
But just know I'm coming back.
Yeah.
And whether we want to believe it or not, he coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He coming back.
Mhm.
We treat church as if he's not coming back.
Yes.
But he is coming back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I told the church the other week, I said, if you doing something you ain't got no business when he come back,
Mm-hmm.
just keep doing what you're doing. But I want to be caught up with him. When he come back, I want to be guilty of serving.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes,
I want to
sir.
be guilty of worship.
Yeah.
If you're going to be guilty of something, be guilty of praising God.
Right.
What type of man is this? He ought to be so good to you. You ought to love him so much that even when the world says you can't have it, you ought to know it's already on the way.
Tall man. Yes, sir.
I get excited when I talk about that. How many of us really love him? How many of y'all seen him do some wonders in your life? How many of you seen him do some signs in your life? Now people whisper about him, but I shout about him.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Because he's just that good.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you something. Who do you say that he is? Is he a guy down the street? Is he somebody you met at Walmart? Or is he really your daddy? Who do you say? When he asked Peter, who do you say that I am? Sometimes we got to look so much deeper into God. And I made a vow, Sister Cole, I said I'm going to go deep this year. Deeper than I've ever been in my life. Here's why. Because simply there's some things that I need Jesus to do. And the more I call his name, the better I start to feel. Look at somebody and say, neighbor,
Neighbor.
who is
Who is
this man?
this man?
Come on, give God a good God bless you.
The song says, falling in love with Jesus. That made me want, oh, falling.